my channel. On this channel, we talk all things nursing, medicine, book related, and also university related. Now, today we are going to do in one of my nursing perspective topics, and it was a question as well. I seem to be doing a lot of questions for my students. This is a question that was asked by my students. I think they've got an essay, and so they were asking me, what is nursing ethics? Now, nursing ethics is actually the backbone of nursing. So without further ado, let's get into it. It might be a little bit long, but without further ado, let's get into it. So when we think of nursing ethics, we think about ethical values. Now, ethical values are essential for all healthcare providers, not only nurses. So your physio, your OT, your doctors, whomever. So ethical principles are the foundation of all healthcare providers. Now, ethics, the origin of ethics comes from the Greek word ethos, meaning character. So basically, you're developing a character of a nurse or of a physio or whatever you are studying. Now, ethical values are universal rules of conduct that provide a practical basis for identifying what kinds of actions, intentions, and motives are valued by our society or by the society we live in, because different societies will have different values. But it could also be the values of your employer. So your employer might have a set of values that they say, these are the values of our trust, and we want you to work in accordance with these values. So also in terms of professions, the values can be the values of your profession, i.e. nursing profession, we have the code of conduct. Code of standards, code of conduct, the same thing. So in essence, we're saying that ethics are moral principles that are govern how the person or a group will behave or conduct themselves. So the code of conduct tells nurses in the UK how to behave. So within nursing and healthcare, however, in general, ethics are important because workers must recognize that healthcare dilemmas, they need to recognize the dilemmas, make good judgments and decision that's based on these core values, all while keeping within the law that governs the country. Now, nursing encompasses autonomous and collaborative care of individuals of all ages, families, groups, communities, sick or well, in all settings that you can think of. And it includes this promotion of health, the prevention of illness, and also the care of the ill, disabled, and dying people. So you can imagine it covers a whole plethora of society. And for that reason, it's important that we're grounded in ethics. And for that reason also, it's important that the nursing code of conducts are always at the forefront of all nurses' mind. For people writing essays, in essays regarding ethics, it is very, very important that you include the Nursing and Midwifery Council in your essay, because this is the backbone of nursing. So for us to practice as nurses, competently and with integrity, we need to consider our regulations and our guidance that is within the profession. The code, as we discussed before, is the professional standards that nursing and midwives and nursing associates must uphold in order to be registered to practice in the UK. It is structured around 4 themes: prioritize people, practice efficiently, preserve safety, and promote professionalism and trust at all time. So these are the 4 main ethical principles of the Nursing and Midwifery Council. But if you think about ethics on a broader scale, ethics has 4 main principles. So the previous ones, prioritizing people, practice efficiently, preserve safety, and promote professionalism and trust, is the themes for the NHS, for the Nurse and Midwifery Council. But if you think about ethics on a broader scale, there's 4 main principles for ethics. One is autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, and justice. So those are the 4 main ones. So when you think of autonomy, as nurses, we are training to be autonomous professionals. And what that means is that we're going to act in accordance with our knowledge. We're going to use sound judgment, and we do that while we're providing appropriate nursing care and within the scope of the nursing practice. And all of this will exist in our professional regulations and also in our organizational rules, such as the rules of the trust or the place that we work. When we think of beneficence, beneficence is defined as kindness and charity, which requires action on the part of the nurse to benefit others. So we need to be kind to our patients. And when we think about beneficence, we think about the 6 C's of nursing. And without the 6 C's of nursing, we will not be using our beneficence. So an example of a nurse who demonstrates ethical principle in holding, you can hold a dying patient's hand, you can feed someone who is unable to feed themselves, you can also, do the dressing on time, or else the skin will break down. So it's always about putting your patients first. So when you think of beneficence, you think about putting your patients first, putting their well-being first. So let's move on to non-maleficence. Non-maleficence is defined as doing no harm. And when we say doing no harm, we mean no intentional harm. So you will not set out to harm your patients. Nurses must provide a good standard of care. So for example, a nurse must demonstrate that they are working within the principles. So that means you're not neglecting your patients. So you're not hiding out in the sluice room, or you are at the front desk talking to whomever instead of offering care to your patient. So you're not going to neglect your patient. And that is a really, really important thing. So once again, we can say, for an example, is we wouldn't omit to do a dressing because we know that if we don't change that dressing, the skin will break down, the person can get sepsis and they can die. So can you see the principles there? So these principles really ensure the safety of patients, and it ensures the safety of the community as well, of the nursing community, because we are looked at a high standard, and if we start reducing those standards, then patients will ask questions. So nurses are also responsible to report treatment options that are causing harm. So this comes under non-maleficence as well. So not only will you not neglect your patients and offer the best care, you will report if someone else is neglecting patients and the care that they're offering is not the best care but is causing harm. When we think about harm as well, we must also keep in mind that patients can harm themselves. And if we are aware that a patient has suicidal ideation or suicidal intentions or intentions of self-harm, we must report that. It's very, very important that we report that, because that is also a part of not causing harm. And to talk about the final one of the 4, justice. Justice means that you are always impartial and fair. You must make your decisions, your medical decisions, and demonstrate them in a way that shows that you are not limiting resources to different ethnic groups or to different socioeconomic groups or people of different sexuality. So all our treatment should be standardized and accommodate everyone in society, regardless of their ethnicity, their sexual orientation, not everything. It just does not matter. Their economic standards, of course. So basically, it's all about acting in the best interest of people. This is what ethics is. The backbone of ethics is to act in the best interest of people. Now, I'm going to wrap this up with the Nurse and Midwifery Code. I'm going to quote from the Nurse and Midwifery Code 4.1 and 4.2. So as we say, ethics is about acting in the best interest of patients and people in general. So in terms of the Nurse and Midwifery Council, it says to achieve this, balance the need to act in the best interests of people at all times with the requirement to request a person's right to accept or refuse treatment. So people must be able to accept or refuse treatment. Make sure that you get properly informed consent and document it before carrying out any action. And that will back us up, and we always document in nursing. Remember that if you haven't documented it, you haven't done it. Now, thanks for watching. I hope that helps. And just to recap a little bit, we talk about the 4 principles of ethics, and we also talk about the 4 themes of the NMC. So the 4 principles of ethics is beneficence, autonomy, non-maleficence, and also justice. While the 4 principles of nursing, and the Nursing and Midwifery Council, so we're speaking about the UK at the moment, is to prioritize people, practice effectively, preserve safety, and promote professionalism and trust. So those are the core of our Nursing and Midwifery Council. Now, thank you for watching. If you like my video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification button so you can know when I upload any videos. So this will go into my nursing consideration, my nursing perspective side of the channel. And please tell me, leave a comment below and tell me what you think. If there's any other questions you'd like me to answer, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting me.